What's your name? Where you from?
White Girl, NGB Frosty from Miami, Florida, Alapata.
For sure, for sure. And what was it like growing up in Alapata for you?
It was the trenches. Nowadays, you know, it ain't the same no more. This generation different, but it was tough. It was a war constantly.
And growing up in Alapata, what led you into, you know, getting into criminal behavior and
Honestly,
stuff like that?
Just a lifestyle. I think behavior is a lifestyle for some people. It's not so what that they like to get in trouble. I'm a loner. I don't like to get in trouble. I stay by myself, and I get money by myself. I do it all by myself. Sometimes it's a lifestyle. It's things that come with the
Were the people you grew up around, were they like involved in the same lifestyle as you?
Yeah, I mainly grew up around what you would consider a lot of menaces, a lot of, you know, people that are not welcome in society or considered normal, people who you would consider drug dealers, killers, gang members, prostitutes, all type of things like that.
And growing up around this, when you found yourself your first time getting in trouble, like what were you feeling when was it incarceration that were your first time in trouble, or did you go home? Or
my first time in trouble, like I said, I was a juvenile, so I did the 21 days and then 5 months in the program. My second time in trouble, I was 17. I got direct filed.
What was that like as a 17-year-old? Direct file means you went straight to the big boy system.
I went up the road. They sent me to Ocala. I was at Lower CI in the YO camp. Back then, we was being housed in a dorm that they used to call Charlie dorm, but it used to be crazy. My first week there, imagine being a kid that, yeah, I've been in the street and stuff like that, but you can't never really feel the pressure of being up the road or being incarcerated until you live it. That's when you could say you understand it, pressure. Until then, it's a movie. When you go in there, it's unrealistic, the shit that you see, the shit that you hear. And I went in there off rip. That first weekend, they called me out. They slid the bunks, literally slid the bunks to the side. Boom, 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 like 4, 5 in the morning, right after breakfast. They ain't got no respect. So I experienced that. They put the CO in the closet, burnt the whole unit on fire. Yeah, we went through a lot of shit.
That's in that wild. And what, was there a lot of gang activity inside there?
Honestly, nah. Like for women, the reality is that women, we don't gang bang in prison. However, you know, there is people that are affiliated, like myself, have some type of ties or whatever. You know, we don't walk around the yard or we don't walk around the compound throwing up our set or
so there's no politics on the compound.
Nah. It's more fighting. Like with the women, it's more just straight slicing, cutting, stabbing, but like for stupid shit.
And you mentioned you went to prison at a young age. Did they send you to a youthful offender prison?
I did. I was at the YO camp in Ocala, like I mentioned, in Charlie dorm, and I had a YO sentence. They sentenced me. My first time was 9.5 years. 5 years probation, mandatory, which I violated when I got out from doing the 4.5 inside.
So run me through the wildest thing you've seen inside a female prison.
Honestly, it would have to be like how many times I've seen people get sliced up, they face sliced up, fingers, meat hanging. I'll say that's big. And that's major.
Was the helicopter landing for that?
Of course, yeah.
For trauma?
They land, They land, especially then, you know, they come clean up the blood, stuff like that. But like I'm talking about the dirty slices. I'm not talking about no baby cuts. I'm talking about the meat hanging off your cheek, the ear hanging off, the fingers hanging off. That's big. And
it, since it's not, you know, gang related, you know, and there's not a lot of gang politics on the compound, what is it in relation to a lot of the fighting?
A lot of it is them hoes being jealous of each other. Women are emotional, so when you imagine dealing with one woman all day, imagine dealing with 1,000 bitches a day. You have this girl over here going through her things with her kids, her family. She already irritated. You got this one over here, she a lifer, got nothing to lose. You know, then you got that one over there trying to be cool, the coolest shit. Then you got that one over there trying to prove. Then you got that one over there for the girlfriend dyking. Stupid shit. Like I said, it don't even be monetized.
When did you first start like attacking music? What age were you?
Honestly, I freestyle. I'm not a beast with the freestyle, but I can spit off top. I wrote down most of my music that I've done, but I've been into that all my life, writing poetry, rhythm, rhymes, all my life.
Now, back to incarceration, you did this youthful offender bid. Did you ever have to go back to jail or prison after that? And what led it to it?
Of course, yeah. After that, unfortunately, I violated my probation with another armed robbery, and I went up the road. I did my time up the road, and then I came home.
Was it different?
We got sentenced to 6.5 years this time.
It was 6.5 years as an adult?
Yeah.
So was it different than being with the youthful offenders in Ocala?
Yeah, I was definitely still in Ocala, but when I was a YO, they had me in the main annex. So I had got transferred to the main unit. I had got transferred to the annex part of the law. So that's more like penitentiary with the tower, 2-man cell, lockdown 24/7, high security HO4, and etc. Like, it just means you just like high risk or high custody level for your charges, your behavior, whatever reason. I was on that side. I did most of my time behind the door. I liked it personally better than open bay.
What was the worst part about incarceration?
You know what? Doing time is easy. This for everybody out there that want to know this. The art of war. You master anything you put your mind into. So if they take you out and they throw you in the box, you ain't got no choice but to deal with whatever comes to you. You done got thrown there. There's no way out. So it's kind of like that. You deal with it. It's not hard. You get fed for free. You do your time and you go home. It's real simple. You make your time hard, that's on you. But the hardest thing that comes with doing time, I will have to say, is the losses that we take in the real world. For me personally, every time I catch a bid or I get in some kind of trouble, I lose my crib, I lose my children, I lose my stability, I lose my security, I lose my motion and everything I had created for myself. So what hurts? You're sitting in there, you're contemplating on everything you lost. Because doing the time, nobody can stop time. So you're going to do the time, you heard? So don't do the crime if you can't do the time.
That's a fact. And you mentioned you did a lot of time behind the door. What did you do to pass time behind the door? You did mention the art of war, so I know you read a little bit.
I read a lot of books. I know a lot of books I've read. I did self-educate myself. I read all type of books, from autobiography to urban, but I wrote a lot of music behind the door. I used to freestyle a lot with my bunkie. You find stupid shit to do. We create dice, draw.
Was there gambling
write
inside
poetry? There? Not really. Even though I know how to play, I know how to gamble and stuff like that. We really just do spades. We do the tournaments, and we don't really fuck with like how y'all be fucking with the poker. The men, y'all play a lot. Y'all have a lot of shit going on. We don't.
What's the worst type of treatment you've ever seen a CO administer or been a part of?
Honestly, I was there right before I came home around, I believe, don't quote me on it because I don't recall exactly what year, but it was either 18 or 19, right before I was coming home. An officer literally killed somebody in the lockdown cell. Like stumped her rib cage to death, stumped her face to death. So he was having some kind of affair with her. It gets real like that. Like, it gets real in there.
The officer was having an affair with her, and then
Correct.
He ended up hurting her really bad.
And he tried to blackmail her, into being quiet. And I don't know what happened, that she was about to speak up, and he went into her room late that night and beat her to death.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
and he tried to tell the police. It happened at Lowell. He tried to tell the police that she tried to hurt him. So that's how he backed his story up.
And
there was no
they're
witness.
always going to take the officer's statement over the inmate.
Yeah, but her autopsy, they did find all the bruising in her rib cage, the footprints on her body. So They're still being investigated.
That's a fact. Hopefully she gets justice.
Yeah.
And, you know, coming home to the street, how was it adjusting back to society? And like, because you did multiple bids and then you finally came home. You've been free for a while now. How has it been adjusting to society?
I've been free about 2.5 years. Adjusting has been tough. My first bid, I adjusted pretty good. When I came out, it wasn't too much difference. But when I finished, like, when I really came out this last time in 2021, in between those 12 years I did, there's only been like probably 6-7 month span of free time in the streets. It was just constant boom, 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 double back. So I came home, it was touchscreen phones. I came home, there was a TikTok, Instagram. When I went in, it was MySpace. So I went through that big old, I didn't even know how to make a call when my mom picked me up. We went to I'll never forget, I went to Subway. That was my first meal. I had a tuna sub. And she passed me the phone. I was going to make a call, and she passed me this phone with no buttons, straight flat screen. And I was just like, what is this? And she's like, this the phone. And I was like, well, how do I call people? She like, just tap it. And I'm like, well, how do I go back? And it was just, it was like that with the TV. It was like that with the smart cars. And then it was like, wow. It was tough. It was a big transition.
And honestly. So you say you got home in 21 and you ended up going back to jail, correct? I remember it being all over social media. Free King Sean, I remember you guys ended up going to jail together.
Yes.
And how was that, you know, as your significant other, you and your significant other are both behind bars. How did you mentally adjust to that?
For those who know us, then you know that we've been together. We were together, you know, about 23, 22 years.
That's a long time.
Okay, so we know each other since 15 years old. It wasn't our first time getting locked up together, but it was our first time getting locked up together that we had kids, a home, a life.
Stability.
So we lost it all. Like I told y'all, the hardest thing to do when you're doing time is to sit back and reflect on your losses. So that's what happened with us. You know, I had lost him, he lost me, we lost the kids, he lost the kids, we lost the crib. You know, instead of one of us staying out, we had no choice.
And of course you were proven innocent, but at what point when you were in the jailhouse did you decide, you and Sean together decide, like, we taking this to the door? You know what I mean?
From the jump.
From the jump, as soon as you went in and you already knew you were going to trial.
Yeah, from the jump. Because originally, you know, that case is already beat and that's already closed. Mm-hmm. Originally, I got into it with somebody at a Chase Bank altercation, and that led into a physical altercation, and then that led into a report that was done falsely. However, since I'm a convicted felon, and so it was Keyshawn,
and it's on your record before,
they didn't even bother to do their job, so we had to go and sit and fight for that. We had lawyers working on the case. However, they couldn't prove that it was a firearm involved at any time. They couldn't prove that we armed robbed anybody, held them at any kind of gunpoint, which was what allegedly being said. And we took it to the door, speedy trial. And of course, once you go to speedy trial, see, guys cop out, they cop out all day on these pleas. But people, I'm telling y'all, if they don't have solid evidence, which means black and white, solid, a camera on video or something solid, take it to trial. You're gonna beat it. In trial, the laws stand real firm and different than when you're trying to plea out and cop pleas, because when you're trying to plea out, they're still looking at you like you're guilty, and they're trying to just offer you something, and they really want you to run off with anything, because anything you run off, you're stamped.
And you guys were co-defendants in that case?
Yes, we were.
So you guys went to court together?
Correct, every
and
time.
What was it like? I just want to hear what it was like when you guys were in court that day together and they said, we're dropping all charges, we're dismissing everything.
I honestly, the prosecutor and our judge have been our judge for a very long time. Like I said, he's been our judge from prior cases. My baby daddy have been my co-defendant on all my cases that I've ever been in trouble for. He's been my co-D locked in. So the judge did not want to do that. He did not want to dismiss the case, but he the prosecutor didn't either. But if y'all don't have no, and I'm telling y'all, we screaming speedy trial from 2.5 years ago. Yeah, it's about that time. But really, they separated us that day that they were gonna drop our case. They purposely released him in the morning because he had a hold. So they had to deal with his issue first. They released him, boom, and then they did me in the afternoon and dropped my case, dismissed the case for me. But they could have did it together, but no, they didn't want to do that. Because every time we did go to court together, we used to be throwing hearts and communicating. They ain't like that.
Right. And so you guys get released the same day, correct?
Yes.
And you guys
actually, no, home. He got released first.
He got released first. You got released in the afternoon?
No, I had a hold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had a hold. So I had to go and take care of the hold in Broward. And then I got released a couple months later, like 2 months later.
When you guys finally were home, what was it like? Did you like, what was the feeling?
Just, it's crazy, it was just, I was grateful to be back out and be able to experience him free, because he's also always in trouble. We've been locked up all our life. So yeah, happy to see that we was given that chance. When we were being offered 20 years, we would have never seen our kids. So we was able to come home. We came home to some money. We had put up money. We had invested. Had a crib, the kids good. Like, it went from going and having nothing.
Pursuing rap, like the career, like you guys were pursuing it hard.
I've been pursuing it like 5 years, 8 or something like that. But I do it as a hobby. It ain't something like that I'm getting paid to do, big money or nothing. I live off my hustle and my everyday grind.
Can we see more like remixes, like the Boss Man D-Lo remix that you have? Can we see more coming soon?
I have something in the making. I'm not gonna say what names or what artists is, because it's something that we just shouldn't do. But I do have a very important feature in the making, and I do have a video that is gonna happen in Miami with a big boss man, and I will be there. So I'm going up. I'm gonna be in the studio more time. I just gotta find the time, y'all. Y'all bear with me.
That's dope. And we're moving into like forward time. Everybody knows that King Shine, he got rearrested. It hit social media, and I believe 1090 Jake made a video about it. How have you been dealing with that?
Well, honestly, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but 1090 Jake, you a bitch. I feel like the world could say whatever, but right is right and wrong is wrong. First of all, he should have never spoke on an open case. That goes to all y'all YouTubers out there, you heard? Don't speak on open cases. These cases are very real and very open. What is wrong with y'all? That's one. Two, if you're speaking on a case, don't involve people's name. Don't involve details and all that. If y'all go and look at his 1090 Jake's video that he released on King Shine, he's mentioning me, asking where have I been, how can we afford these, and he's just doing the most, and that's not cool to me, bro, because you don't know what I live, you don't know what I go through. Don't insinuate, don't assume, you hear me? You a hoe, period. That's how I feel.
And as far as adjusting to, like, being without him and having the kids by yourself, like, how has it been on you?
I mean, it's tough to be a single mom, period. Whether I had him or not have him, even if he was out here and we had split, because we're currently, not together. But it's tough to be a mom, period, out here. But gratefully, I know how to get it. I'm a hustler. I go hard for my kids. My kids don't need or want for nothing. Truly blessed to say that. Some people cannot say that.
Oh, that's a fact. You've had a big struggle.
Some people cannot do that at all. They wish that they can provide, they just can't. But growing up through the trenches and how I already told y'all where I've been at and where I came from, kind of built me. I do this shit with ease. I chase paper with ease. I get the money with ease. I remain humble. A lot of things in prison taught me a lot. It made me militant. It made me, my third eye open. It made me kind of see things with a deeper meaning. Value a piece of paper, value a piece of pen, value a stamp. Like, you could only live that
value
when you live that.
Value the small things.
Yeah.
That's a fact. And if you could tell the audience anything before we get up out of here, like the younger audience, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of women out there that are younger than you that are going through the same thing you've been through. What piece of advice would you give them?
Well, for one, I'm gonna say this: love yourself, ladies, men too. Y'all love yourself. We're in an era, we're in a time where people do not care. They're lost in the physical. They're lost in the material world. Love yourself, accept yourself, and then it's all gonna fall into place. You will not find yourself in bad moments. You will not find yourself in hard positions, making stupid decisions, and cause and effect.
That's a fact.
Cause and effect, ladies. I'm not no innocent person. I'm not no monster. But we all make mistakes, and I wish I would have made some better choices. I make them now, but I'm not perfect. But like I said, love yourself, and then it all kind of plays out.
That's what's up. And where can people find you at on social media, on Instagram, YouTube? Where can they find your music at?
My music is out on everywhere. You can find me on any platform. Mainly, I have TikTok, NGB Frosty with 3 Y's. You can look me up as Wyte Gurl. Come out too on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, every platform. All the music, Spotify, Apple. Y'all go hear me out. Check
That's
me
what's
out.
up. I appreciate you coming on today. And it's always free King Sean until he's out here, man. Hey. And it's been a special honor to have you on Raw Talk today. Thank you.